And we're back, and we're live with more Dota 2 action. Brought to you by Beyond the Summit. Of course, this is the Corsair Summer Tour 2013.
How excited are you?
Not as excited as you, buddy.
We're pumped. We're pumped for today.
Yeah.
Who and the
Empire
team?
versus Mouse Sports.
Yeah, Empire. We're looking pretty good. Should be much more close than other games.
Draft's underway.
Mm-hmm.
You excited?
I'm pumped.
Let's get it.
I like how Empire plays. They just go all out and bloodbath.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it, guys. Empire versus Mouse Sports. Best of 3. Winner of this will be first place in Group D and one of the top 4 seeds heading into the playoff knockout bracket. It's the Corsair Summer Tour 2013, and if you haven't already heard, they're doing a giveaway. You can win some free Dota TV tickets. Yep, that's right. You right there. Head over to gc.corsair.com for your chance to enter and win free tickets, free Dota TV, and free Elgato views if you own the Courier too. So, Merlini Empire. Very aggressive style. Mouse, much more of a sort of controlled aggression. Empire just, boom, coming at you. Who do you think's got the edge in this matchup?
I think that Empire, I think they'll do well in the first 10 or 15 minutes. If they don't, they just flat out lose, I think. If they behind 5, 6, 7 kills by the 12, 13 minute mark, I think they just lose. But if they can, it really depends on if they can continue the aggression from the 15 to 25 minute mark. I think they'll pull out ahead just because they have 5 heroes committed to kills in the early game. At least that's what I saw from the previous series. And Mouse, typical 4 protect 1.
If they can somehow squeeze a Bounty Hunter into their lineup, I would love to see that. Bounty Hunter was actually 7-0 in the Alienware Cup. There was a nice little
that hero's awesome.
Stats post about it on Reddit, and yeah, that hero's on the resurgence for sure. And for a team like Empire, his track doesn't give minus armor debuff anymore, but still gives you the move speed, still gives you the gold.
I know that gold. Money.
Gotta get them ducats.
I'm surprised Black hasn't drafted it more so that he can improve his GPM.
Well, Black has been getting he's been low man on the totem pole for this team, getting KS by his teammates. They're stealing his Aegis.
They should just make him bounty hunter.
Yeah, they should just make him a support because that's how they're treating him. But it's a game 1 of a best of 3, guys. Empire on the dire side, Mouse Sports on the Radiant. Empire going for what looks to be a pretty aggressive tri-lane. Lifestealer Visage, the first 2 selections. They go back for a Rubik. Interesting that they would do that. I feel like maybe something like a Shadow Demon, an Earthshaker, I would say a Kodal would be better just for the killing power, but looks like they want supports that scale a bit better into the late game.
Yes, they do. I'm looking at Mouse's lineup. The Bane's kind of fallen out of favor. He works really well with Alchemist. And
he's always good against Life.
Where is Alchemist? Doesn't Black love this hero?
Well, they've gotten him the Gyro. So Empire say, you don't want Alch? We'll take him.
Yeah, I'm actually just very surprised they didn't pick it up. The synergy with Bane's pretty good too. Sleep into channeling the spell.
He's humping his chair right now.
Dude, that was the old school Alchemist. He's like bumping up and down. I don't exactly know. I guess he's like shaking his concoction and then blowing it up.
It's like a whole body shake. You know, he really gets into it.
It's like the shake weights thing.
Yeah. Well, this Alchemist, he needs some shake weights. On Mouse Sports, they'll go for their 4th pick right now, and they already have the Gyro. They already have the Lone Druid. So the main question is, what is Fata going to play mid for me?
Puck.
We've seen a lot of Puck from him.
It should be Puck.
Great this game. The only thing that could really hurt you is a Rubik lift if they can follow up with, say, Shadowblade Alchemist stun. Otherwise, very hard to kill a Puck in this game.
Yeah, it works pretty well with Gyrocopter too, and again, he's really good versus Lifestealer. Queen of Pain.
Great against Alchemist. You will never hit that stun without a setup.
Yeah. And they have the Visage Bats too, but Puck, that's probably the least of his concerns.
And, you know, the thing with Mouse Sports, it seemed like maybe they just want to experiment, because in Game 2, they just did a completely different draft. I forget what they picked, but I remember it was a little bit unusual for Mouse. Aggressive tri-lane, a lot of early pressure from them. Normally, they're more of a defensive team, so it wouldn't surprise me if they say, hey, this is a team that's decent, but still a team that we think we can beat. Let's go for something a little bit
I don't know if you can
unusual.
underestimate Empire, though. Usually when teams run new and novel strategies that they haven't practiced that much before is against B tier teams. And Empire,
Empire's sort of in the middle, I feel.
Yeah,
Like they
they're
looked
close.
good. They looked pretty good today, but they
Yeah.
had their sloppy moments.
that's
against
for like the
Kaido.
second game of BO3 if you take home the first one convincingly.
Well, we'll see. Mouse Sports. They go for Naga. Very standard stuff. The Ensnare, great for Lifesteal. Now they've got Enfeeble, Fiend's Grip, as well as the net. Lots of ways to lock
Call
it down.
down, Bear Root,
Entangle as well. Yeah. 4 ways.
the Bear Root,
The Bears.
the Bears. Lone Druid. Lone Druid first pick by Mouse, and it's I guess it was first pick by Mouse, but I think this hero's still underrated.
I think he's really good. I don't know if you need to first pick him though, because I feel like you can. Like he's like a bargain buster hero. Like I think you can get away with him in a third or fourth pick, unless you're say against the Alliance where like they have like a guy who plays almost exclusively Lone Druid or Prophet.
The thing
and
is, he
Bulldog.
fits into most lineups, and he's really easy to lane. He can lane one-on-one situation versus almost any hero, and he can jungle if he gets screwed in the off lane. Unlike, let's say, Bounty Hunter or Weaver. He can go mid versus a rather difficult matchup such as Obsidian Destroyer.
I think he's really underrated as a mid, actually, because he beats most heroes 1v1, I want to say, in
He
the
has
mid
good
lane.
rune control.
And the bear can check the runes for
Yeah,
you.
it's awesome.
He can deny the runes. He can even pick up certain runes and use them like regen.
And
so.
what happened to the Lifestealer Lone Druid bomb? That was so popular back in the day, or just combo.
I haven't seen him much. You know what I don't miss, though, is the Lone Druid Bear plus Darkseer combo in the off
that
lane.
was-
that
was-
is just filthy. Put Ion Shell on the bear. Watch out.
That was broken.
That was so broken. It's not there anymore, though. Empire, they'll go back for a Dragon Knight, so they definitely have late game well in hand. If they want to take this late Alchemist, Dragon Knight, Lifestealer, I'll take those 3 up against pretty much anything.
And the good thing about those two heroes is they can fight early if Dragon Knight does not get shut down early. And the last hero should be Fada's hero for the mid. Hopefully something that can shut the Dragon Knight down. They need to be able to put a lot of pressure on Team Empire, especially if they want Quakevo to farm like a 16, 17 minute Midas Radiance like he did the other game.
Yeah, Mouse Sports, we'll see what that last hero is right now. Needing...
Have you seen a Scandal Dragon Knight?
No.
I have not either. It does not seem like his alley. He reminds me sort of like Dendi, where
Yeah, he's sort of like Dendi, sort of like Mushi, where you just kind of want him on like that aggressive,
flashy.
flashy... I could see him on Dragon Knight, but he'll definitely be like that Shadow Blade, like ganking style.
Puzzles
not-
and Dragons.
Yeah, Puzzles and Dragons style.
So we're waiting in the last pick for Mouse Sports. They definitely lack a little bit in AoE. Bane, almost all single target. All single target. Lone Druid, all single target. Naga Siren, Riptide. I think she's going to be support, so she's not going to be able to constantly spam the middle of team fights. Gyrocopter is the only big one here, and I think they do need a lot of AoE to deal with this Team Empire lineup. Tinker.
Oh, man. That's the hero that I can
again?
remember. There was the safe lane Tinker in that second game against
So it's a
4FC. Or not 4FC.
it's a mid. I guess it's a mid Tinker this game.
It could be
It's
a
a
support
Fada
Naga
Gyrocopter?
for
Okay.
sure. Black
Support
Lone
Gy- or
Druid.
mid Gyrocopter.
Is it really a Black Lone Druid?
He plays Lone Druid now and then. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's not like his typical hero.
I
but
mean, he's
it's-
not bad at the Lone Druid,
I
but
think he likes Gyrocopter and Anti-Mage. Probably PL. Those are his top three.
he likes Lifestealer too.
Oh yeah. Lifesteal is so easy mode.
Yeah.
He's not a farm machine though. He's nice with farm, but he's not
Just
a. He's not a farm.
get that YOLO Midas refresher. You're good to go.
And then just spam infest on cooldown on creeps. It's pretty good.
I may or may not do that in pubs sometimes. As for Mouse Sports, though, lots of team fight. Very good lineup to just kind of spread the map. But Empire's got this really strong, bursty presence. They've got a lot of frontline tanks with the Unstable Concoction and the Visage follow-up. I think the biggest area where Empire can look to dominate this game is just going to be that tri-lane. So if they can find some early kills there, I think they could snowball.
Yeah, Naga is not the strongest early. I mean, Ensnare does 0 damage. You usually don't even pick it up until level 2. Bane, he probably will get Enfeeble first versus the Lifestealer, and you'll have difficulty controlling the lane through that, just mainly using defensive sleeps. And I assume the third person in the triple lane is going to be... I don't know. What do you think is going to be? It's Black usually plays in the triple lane. I don't remember the last time I see him solo. I've seen him solo off lane Lifestealer a couple times before, but... I'm not sure if I'm sold on a triple lane Black Lone Druid.
If he solos, it's normally like an AM versus a Darkseer type of
Yeah.
a thing.
And he has the edge, or I guess Lone Druid versus, or Lifestealer versus Lone Druid or something like that. But
You know, the nice thing for Empire here is if it is a solo Lone Druid, Lifestealer can 1v1 that.
yeah,
And farm a lot, too. In fact, I would say when I've seen the matchup in the past, this was before the open wounds nerf, but
Lifestealer.
I don't think that really changes the-
Light is on it too, so
Yeah.
he plays the off lane for the most part.
yeah, but they might aggressive try, 'cause they've got a Visage.
Yep.
Who's playing the Alchemist, actually?
Alchemist is...
Blow your brain. So, okay, so it'll be... Then it looks like a Scandal.
Scandal mid.
Scandal solo mid, Dragonite, tri-lane Alch, and a solo lifesteal. Do they put a safe lane lifesteal here, you think, or...?
I think so. It just depends on what Mouse does. I think if they don't switch any of their heroes, or for example, if Koikwa was on Black or was on Lone Druid, you'd almost certainly think that the Lone Druid would be in the off lane. But with Mouse, switching things up a little bit.
Now, we did also see earlier today, they like to play mind games, which, by the way, I think is pretty stupid. Like, you shouldn't be able to swap in competitive games. It's just silly. But we'll see.
Don't want those remakes, man.
Yeah.
That was such a pain in the butt. When there was no swap.
That's
you needed
true.
a remake when someone picked the wrong hero or the wrong lineup.
I
introduced Mouse.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Mouse Sports on the Radiant side. It's game 1 of a best of 3. Black on the Lone Druid, but won't be surprised if he swaps out with Fata. Fata Gyro technically could be a solo mid Gyro. We'll have to wait and see how he lanes it. Koikfa on the Tinker. Cinderin on the support Naga. She's really been getting popular lately as that support hero. The 4 position usually Pass. Your 5 position Bane. On the side of Team Empire, the Dire side, they're the aggressors, the CIS Tower Divers. Blow your brain on the Alchemist. Scandal, the Dragonite, rushing an early bottle. He'll be heading mid. FNG, he's been impressing me as their stand-in. He's also been drafting, and I'm not sure if he's making the calls in-game, but I'm sure he's playing a role. Light of Heaven, the living legend, hasn't been on his A-game lately. It doesn't quite feel like the Light of Heaven from Na'Vi in their dominating days, but let's see if he can find his tempo. He did play a bit better in that second game today. He'll be on the lifesteal. And last but not least, it's Sunlight handling the support Visage.
So is it Fata or Fata?
I don't know. We get all whatever we say. It's probably
all
just the
caps.
opposite.
You could just say FATA.
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 Fat.
What was that team that I called it? MITH Trust.
MITH Trust.
Yeah, this all caps, man.
You actually pissed off Ice Frog so much that he personally called you out for your bad pronunciation. Do you realize how bad you have to mess up a pronunciation to get a personal call out?
I spelled it right.
Disgusting.
You didn't even correct me there in the thing.
I don't want to make you look bad. I could have
You
done it
just
off camera.
did.
Well, now I did.
Yeah.
Now I don't
It's
care.
after the fact. Oh,
This
okay.
was when I was trying to be nice to you. So I learned
Understood.
what a scummy guy you are.
Scumbag indeed. So who do you think has a late game if they're like even on farm for like 20, 30 minutes, let's say?
Well, I think Mouse is the better late game players. So I certainly give Black. I even think Fata and Quake are pretty stable late gamers. Black just a very reliable carry. So I would say player wise, I think Mouse is the edge. As far as heroes though, Empire have dire advantage, so I give them a slight edge there. Dragon Knight is pretty annoying for Lone Druid to play
very
against.
annoying.
Like the bear gets just destroyed later on. Constant Dragon Tails, constantly kited by the frost, what Lumi calls the mini frost epicenters. I think because Empire's a tricore, if they all get farmed, they're in good shape. But
What
Mouse
about-
has the easier to execute.
They have a
lineup.
Lone Druid and Gyrocopter and Tinker though.
Yeah. I think Mouse is the easier to execute lineup because everyone's got a very clear role. Like, your Naga's going to initiate the fights. Bane just wants to lock down the Lifestealer. Maybe the Alch if he gets big. And Quakefoot just perma-hex whoever you can. So I think their lineup, everyone's got more clearly defined roles, whereas Empire's 3 heroes that all sort of just want to charge in and fight at once. And that's where Son on the side, and that's where Net could really come into play. So Empire, I think they're the team that relies more on getting that big initiation. Mouse, just a lot of different ways to take fights.
Yeah, they definitely need the BKB up on Gyrocopter, though. I think that's the main big thing for the mid-game team fights for Mouse. Empire, not so much. A lot of their heroes are naturally tanky, and BKB won't prevent some of the damage, like Flat Cannon and March of Machines. March of Machines particularly good.
It'll block
against
that
Lifestealer.
Radiance, that Midas Radiance that we've been seeing
yeah.
as of late.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did not swap heroes, so it will be Black starting on the Lone Druid, and he's heading to the jungle. Stout Shield and Quelling Blade.
And looks like Cinder is scouting out a little bit. Scouts out the 5-man from Empire, and I don't think there are any wards, so it's very unusual for a team to 5-man the opponent's jungle and then not lay a ward. So that lends me to believe that they're actually doing a safe lane triple lane.
So they're running a Lifestealer. He's got a Quelling Blade and a Stout Shield. He can go jungle if he wants.
They don't have any chicken.
He can.
No chicken. Go.
So
Gaming. No chicken gaming.
Quakefoot started with a Soul Ring recipe. Cinnamon bought the wards and
Paz has boots first.
boots first.
Nice. Nice. They Black doesn't need support anymore. Okay, the support's are going greedy.
Dude, seriously, this guy. They stole his kills. They stole his Aegis. They weren't helping him out at all that game. They wouldn't pull
It
him.
was only like
wouldn't
0,
stack
3,
for
and
him.
9 when his team was
He was like,
dominating.
yeah, what the hell was that? And off the bat, well, your Boots first Bane is going to be scouted out. FNG walking directly into the Ancients. He'll body block this. What are they? Are they trying to stack Ancients here? I mean, what is?
I guess
what's
they
the
want
reason for the Boots though?
They're not sure if it's Jungle Tinker or not. I suppose because it's Quakeful playing it. So I think they may have expected him to go in off lane and then.
Oh yeah, I get that. I'm just why is passive Boots?
Oh,
just so he can run in and get cut easier Enfeebles off.
Well,
they have like the worst.
It's annoying.
They have a really weak lineup to find early kills. This just strikes me.
Oh, it's a solo offlane Bane. That's what it is.
Okay. Finally, it's been made clear. So Mouse wants to play ultra greedy this game. Solo offlane Bane. It's an Alchemist as well as a Visage. There's no Rubik here for the time being, but
they can just kill him.
Yeah, maybe not these two right away, but if they get a good...
It's like shake. All he needs is level 2, I think.
I think they just need the Rubik lift, because with Boots, I think Pos can just run out of range for the stun to really do it.
They don't have any wards there, so he could easily approach from the fog, and he has no clue where he is.
He has no vision right now. He's going to be doing some pulling for the time being. It's just very bizarre, because, I mean, you can run 2 supports in the jungle and just stack a bunch of camps. They have a Tinker to farm them with March later. Riptide, as well as Flat Cannon are great against the neutrals. I think they just want to experiment this game. It seems to me like Mouse is just trying to basically try new things so far in this tournament. It is very unusual, though.
Oh,
that courier! Ooh.
Whoa. It's purple.
Little purple Greeple. Getting cocky there.
Man, that'd be so imbalanced if you could flack it.
So Pos has done a nice job in this offlane so far. He managed to pull the creep wave, and so he's gotten a good wave and a half of experience. He'll hit level 2 off of that. And that's more than you would expect for an offlane.
But at the same time, he's feeding Bloated Brain, who has 2 levels of Greevil's Greed.
That's true.
So it's...
I mean, he's going to get fed anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you don't want to give him any faster Battle Fury or Midas than he already is going to get.
So then it's a Jungle Lifesteal and a Jungle Lone Druid. They're both kind of mediocre in the jungle, I feel.
Yeah, they're so-so.
They're not horrible.
They're no Enigma.
They're no Bat Rider. They're no Darkseer, but they're decent.
Naga Siren picks up a Haste Rune and uses it to creep pull Cinder and Dota.
That's exciting. This is such a passive game. You look at Empire, and they're just a naturally aggressive team, and Mouse was playing aggressively.
It's just a lot of babysitting. We see FNG standing in mid, trying to just harass Fight a little bit. We saw Pos just enfeeble Scandal, just be really annoying. But in terms of kill potential, there's almost no kill potential unless just someone massively screws up. Whether Pos is just totally out of position on top, whether we see a Dragon Knight just run up the hill and die 5 times in a row like yesterday, or I don't know. It's just there's both of the offlaners are in the jungle. I guess not Pos, but he's not laning top, so not too much going on in this early game. But Empire has Alchemist. They have Greevil's Greed.
Big smoke from FNG. He smokes to place 2 Sentry Wards, trying to slow down the stacking and the pulling. Also do a bit of dewarding. This is interesting play by him. That's going to somewhat deny Cinderin. The big camp has not been stacked, but he won't.
He's already level 3 though. That's pretty good for a jungle.
It's the same for the Visage. So they're trading evenly in terms of those supports. The mid lane, I guess that's the one lane where there could be a big difference, and Fata is crushing pretty hard. 18-9 to the 10-0 of Scandal. So far, I think that's the most important trade-off we're seeing. And Tinker free farm, Alk free farm. Maybe a slight edge to the Alk there, but overall, I think just because they're dominating this mid lane really hard.
Look at these supports. Both of them sitting right up the hill above the rune, just trying to stack it. These teams are playing exactly the same. It's very strange.
Mirror mode. Maybe they've bet on each other or something.
Oh, he's not actually double stacking. I'm surprised he doesn't. He's not considering that they have an Alchemist on their team, and he can just do it with Acid Spray.
Yeah, a little bit more efficient. I think Mouse is the team that's more used to playing super greedy Dota.
And there's a rune on bottom. FNG's holding the double damage rune for Scandal. This is probably the most exciting thing that's happened this game.
And Cinderin, he's just going to continue pulling. More pulls. He's been very efficient with these so far. Oh, I jinxed him. Now he won't be so efficient.
He can still do it. He has level 2 Riptide. He's doing pretty good. So let's check the graphs right now. XP looks like Mouse has been doing a little bit better job of pulling. Just edging out ahead. Gold almost dead even.
Both players going for that early Midas, I imagine. Black already has his Gloves of Haste. He'll work towards the recipe now. And as for Light of Heaven, Gloves of Haste working towards the recipe.
So in terms of our safe lane farmers, both of them dead even on last assist. 31 for the Tinker, 31 for the Alchemist. And Tinker will actually have his boots to travel very, very fast. He already has boots, soul ring, and 1,000 gold. So just a couple minutes away until he gets there.
Early boots of travel and an early level 6 on the Naga, because Cinderin's been pulling very efficiently, as you pointed out. These two can get a lot done with those early levels, whereas until the Alk gets a Shadow Blade, I don't know how much he'll be able to accomplish. But he's farming pretty well, and now he's going to channel an Unstable Concoction, throw it at Pos. Nice defensive sleep.
Dodge.
Really well timed. You do get 1 second of invulnerability whenever you cast sleep on yourself or an opponent.
Scandal is just getting super harassed in middle. He does pop his double damage, trying to heal a little bit back up, but Fada applying a lot of pressure, going a 3-1-1 build in middle. Sometimes we see people max flak in middle, but it constantly pushes out your lane if you use flak all the time, and with the recent nerf to flak cannon, probably not the best build anymore.
I think the main reason to max the flat cannon first is if your team just wants to get you Super Saiyan mode stacked and farmed. But they're already running some greedy supports here. The jungle lone druid, the support Naga, the Bane that is off lane, and I mean a support that needs levels, right? So I think having a solo mid and the gyro who can just fight earlier, the Rocket Barrage max is going to help you do that.
See, 6-minute rune contest on top. Is something going to happen here? Scandal has his DD.
No sleep, but a Rocket Barrage being cast. Of course, you don't do the damage unless you've got the vision, but there's your first blood. It goes to Mouz, and now a fortunate regen rune for Fata. Mouz, a little bit more efficient with their time, more stacking. They're also prepping for their mid game better, I feel. And I think this just shows you, more than anything, that Mouz is used to playing this kind of Dota, whereas Empire, not quite in their comfort
Blow
zone.
Your Brain got boots first, even though he could have had his minus maybe a minute ago. Just more efficient around the map with Mouz. They stacked the Ancients, whereas we didn't see a stack from FNG, so they are making most out of this early game. And XP continues to go in favor of Mouz and gold. Around 1,000 gold.
Of course, everything that we're saying, you know, putting that aside for a second, it is a safe lane out. And traditionally, at least for the past few weeks, where we've seen safe lane out uncontested, he's winning pretty much every game. So we'll have to see how things pan out.
I wonder what build he's going to go. I wonder if he's going to just get Phase and Shadow Blade and just immediately start fighting, or just go super duper heavy farm build. And it really just depends on how his team wants to play. When Lifestealer wants to leave the jungle. MSC Scandal.
There's your call down mid lane. Now the net coming through. Scandal in trouble. He'll go down. He does get off a Dragon Tail before doing so. Sunlight could be next. Light of Heaven's joined the fray. Now he's isolated Fata. This will be a big kill if he can bring him down. Popping the Rocket Barrage. Not enough. He will fall. And that's a really important kill because he was starting to get a bit too feisty there. Just diving the tower into two heroes.
I like how he's playing super aggressively on the Dragon Knight, though, because Dragon Knight is not getting that much out of his mid lane. Giving a first blood, dying at his T1. All he has are boots, brown boots, bottle, and magic wand at this point. 7.5 minutes in as your solo mid.
That's a pretty damn hard matchup, though, to be fair.
Is.
If you come near the creeps to last hit them, you just get Rocket Barrage. Even though it will be spread between some of the creeps, it makes it so you can't trade effectively.
I like how Fada is taking advantage of the matchup, though. A lot of times I see players just play passively against Dragon Knight when you're a range hero with advantage, and there's really no good reason to.
Black just completed his Hand of Midas just before the 8-minute mark. Light of Heaven just sending his out now, so a very slight edge there. It's all these little incremental things where Mouse are playing ahead, but that's where Greevil's Greed can make up for it all. Blow Your Brain.
Koikwa has 2,300 gold, though.
How greedy do you think that Blow Your Brain should get here? Should he go for the Battle Fury? Should he go, like, ultra greedy?
I think he should go ultra greedy. I think that he has a potential to just absolutely crush a Gyrocopter late game. Gyrocopter's great at annihilating the whole team. Or slowly annihilating the whole team, but Alchemist can just absolutely destroy one hero.
They've gone in on Blow Your Brain top, so that aggressive, greedy play won't be possible.
He did buy his Shadow Amulet right before he died, though.
Yeah, he doesn't lose much gold there, but the main problem is he's dead.
Oh, there's smoke from
he's losing
a couple of heroes on bottom.
They're wrapping around bottom lane, but a timely TP out.
He has his boost travel.
Now he can farm the Ancients, and they can just give Cinder in the safe lane farm, or Black. So that's the nice thing for Mouse. They just have a lot of heroes who can go farm Ancients, can go farm neutrals.
Fada sitting middle, but right next to the ward, and Scandal, oh wow, they get the net on him.
Even though he had the vision, now the Dragon Tail not coming out yet. He's held it a bit long, I feel. The missile, clink. There you go.
Missile hit rate this game?
100%.
Pretty good. Yeah, they're putting a lot of love, giving a lot of love to Scandal in mid here. He is only level 7 compared to Fada, who's level 9.5. That has to hurt. I'm not exactly sure how Cinder have vision. Oh, he had this Observer ward up here, so they actually ping it out at the same time because it's like, well, he netted me from the low ground. You know they have to have vision if that happens.
Is Black going to go double Midas this game? That's what I'm curious about. Fata diving in. Well, by himself this entire game, just constantly diving. This time right to Light of Heaven.
Light just hitting right up the hill. Easiest kill of his life.
Yeah, thanks for the gold, Fata, he says. How greedy did Mouse get? Do we see a double Midas bear?
I don't think so. I think with the Tinker that they can start applying a lot of pressure, or at least fend off some aggression from Empire. And Empire, they can just play super greedy right now, and Alchemist will just get his items much faster than Gyrocopter and just try and crush them and BKB it up.
Yeah, Shadowblade Out can also really punish Tinker. Until you get a Blink
yeah,
Dagger,
definitely
you're
so.
quite vulnerable to those ganks.
And even with the Blink Dagger, if you don't have a gem, mid lane.
Saw one of the Sirens there. Scandal gets thrown back into a stun. Posse needs to brain sap his way out. He can't get it off in time. He'll still fall. Now the Familiar's being dropped pretty quickly. Sunlight on the run. FNG as well. Rocket splashing through. Triple kill for the team of Mouse. 3 heroes hitting the deck. And your Bane, the lone casualty. Mouse coming out ahead. Very hard team to dive. You're diving into Song. You're diving into March. You're diving into Tinker.
Tinker has to be at these fights for Mouse to come out way ahead, and Koikva is doing a good job of balancing farming and fighting right after he got his booster travel. That's very important as a Tinker. And he wasn't able to do the Ancient Stack yet. It's actually blocked now by Empire, but
It's already quad stacked.
Yeah.
By the time they kill it, that Sentry Ward will pretty much be gone.
Fada
There's your call down
again.
mid lane. Fada in a bit of trouble. The net thrown out on light. And now, well, he infests. He pops back out. Fatsa's still going to fall. Another death for him, but I wouldn't really say he's feeding or making many mistakes because he's creating a lot of space for his team.
Yeah.
Black farming,
Uninterrupted.
Tinker farming, even Cinderin getting quite a bit.
And I think that Mouse will actually have the better, hey, we can do Roshan, just because they have the Lone Druid. I'm not actually sure if he's going Tranquil with this Ring of Regeneration, but I think they could easily do it with their lineup. And it's pretty. Tinker is actually pretty good at defending Roshan too, as well as Naga Siren Sleep. So even though Empire has a better position, I think Mouse has the better skill set for kicking it out.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to fight around the pit in general. And, well, Black takes a tier 1 bottom. That's the beauty of playing such an aggressive Gyrocopter mid, is you create that space for him, and you create space for a hero that can push towers really quickly. So, nicely done by Mouse Sports. They'll now go back and try and farm the Ancient Stack. And although Empire know about this, it's really hard to contest.
They can't contest that.
You can't contest into March unless you have some super tanky, super
Naga
bursty
Siren in
heroes.
the double march, you have to run away, and one of them's going to get netted. It's going to be just a really bad fight.
And once you lose one, you start to lose more.
So Koikva stacking those Ancients, getting that money. He will have Blink Dagger after this if he chooses to get it.
Yeah, nice job farming these Ancients, not taking any damage, just doing it from behind. Meanwhile, mid lane, Fata, called out was stolen by the Rubik. In they go on Fata. He's low. He's not dead just yet. The
Sunlight.
Familiar's coming in. He's still alive. He's still alive. Finally, he goes down. The TP rotation has come out, though. Scandal in a bit of trouble. Light of Heaven TPing out. He'll be able to escape. Now Brain Sap on Scandal. Will he be so lucky? They need a few more right clicks. Koikva blinking forward. Fresh and shiny. Here we go. Rearming. Soul Radiant and blinking again in just a second. This could be a very dead Rubik. It probably will. FNG, not sure where to run. He's trying to juke. He's trying to pull a fast one. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Down she goes.
And Koikva is 3-0-3. He's probably one of the highest net worths in the game, even with these Midases and even with Grievel's Greed. Mouse is coming out way ahead in terms of gold farm. Second tower down for them.
And Black's suddenly up to 3k gold. In the Battle of Greed, well, you're not going to beat a Midas relic by like the 15-minute mark, which
But
is what Black's looking at.
Alchemist does have a Shadow Blade now, and here is
He's
where
got to gank. He's got to start
Yeah.
ganking right now.
Yeah.
Like, if he tries to sit back and farm when Black has a Radiance and a Midas, and they're so far ahead on a lot of these other heroes, they will lose. He needs to get active right now.
I talked about how fast Alchemist ramped up, but a Tinker actually ramps up pretty fast because all he needs is his booster travel, and Alchemist needs his Shadow Blade, but going that Midas slowed him down a lot, and Tinker's time with the initial booster travel and the blink should be over if Alchemist can play this well.
For the time being, Koikva, level 11 already. That's the other thing that Tinker really needs is just the levels, and he's getting them in a hurry. Already has access to 2 of his spells max, 1 point in the ult. He'll level up the ult later on. It is very mana intensive, but can farm the Ancients. He's, like you said, just done a nice job of fighting sometimes, pushing other times.
And stacking, too.
Yeah, in general, Mouse is feeling like quite the well-oiled machine to be. They're German, so efficiency is one of their strong suits.
Assembly line of farm.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's
Yeah.
like
Tinker has his ultimate orb. We may be looking at like a 20-minute sheep. And Blink and BOT's Soul Ring Bottle, that is super sad.
it's only the Shadowblade outfit can punish him, and now that
see
the
a
Blink's
smoke.
online, it's very
See a smoke
difficult.
from Mouse going to the opponent's jungle, and
Both teams actually
that
rotating
is
the same
scary
direction.
for Mouse. They're only 3 strong. There aren't any creeps for the Tinker to be on. This could be a very compromising position.
Fata,
Luckily, they
he's
do
in
have
the
Naga
front.
Siren.
He's got an Invis rune. They don't have any detection yet. Empire weren't smoked, so they don't actually know that someone was here. And Mouse Sports will be able to back off. They're baiting the Tinker. They're baiting him beautifully. There's your song. Cinderin's caught too. Get ready for the prep. The call down could be coming. As I misclick for a second there, the call down will hit. Clips 2, FNG on the run. Now, well, the Bane's gotten thrown back in. The song was stolen by Rubik, but he dies to the March while trying to cast it. Mouse Sports have taken down 3. It could be 4 in a second. Blow Your Brain. He'll try to duke it out here. Laser puts the Visage to bed. And Blow Your Brain, the last survivor, he'll have to run away. That was just a great initiation with the Song of the Siren. And the whole idea there was brilliant, because you have this Invis gyro in the front lines. It just completely sets them up for a perfect bait on the Tinker.
Yeah, good coordination there and good control on the Lifestealer. They all try to focus him down during the March. Killing him during Rage is such a big deal. Dragon Knight almost died instantly after the Song of the Siren hit. Very good coordination on the side of Mouse, and you can tell that they are experimenting with new things. It seems like this one's pretty well thought out and pretty well executed by Mouse.
I mean, I definitely think this strategy could be punished. Like, the Rubik was mid. If he was top lane, they could have really forced the Bane off the lane, taken its early towers, or pulled the lane back rather than letting him get away with pulls. There was no lane ward there.
And they went double Midas, too. That's like, you're trying to outgreed Mouse, and that usually does not work out.
There was no lane ward, which is why the offlane Bane was able to get away with these pulls and accomplish a lot more. They also put a Dragon Knight mid against the Gyro. That's not the strongest lane. I think the biggest thing I didn't really like from Empire was the fact that they didn't aggressive try lane. They used, like you said, they tried to be more greedy, not only with the item selections, but it was also with the lane. So, I don't know. I just don't think that's Empire's strong suit. I think it's Mouse's...
It's all aggression.
Yeah, it's just where Mouse is comfortable.
Bloodbath.
But let's be fair. Mouse has executed this really well. Like, it's hard to deal with this.
Yeah, everyone just seems to be at the right place at the right time. Black just doing his thing. Casual Ring of Regen. Casual Relic.
Casual indeed.
Almost has that Radiance.
Everything's casual with this guy.
Just about 300 gold away.
The only thing that's not casual is just how hard he's farming. He is getting fat as hell. The Tinker's still the lead farmer, but eventually with the Radiance, with the Tinker just being the more active fighter, Black is going to surpass him. Yeah. So, a jungle and
Fada's not under farm, but it doesn't even matter. He just has Ogre Club and Shreds.
The one thing that's really kind of unique about the way Mouse has been playing is just how much they're like swapping roles within the game. At first, you know, they'll give the gyrocopter or even the Tinker farm priority. Then once the hero gets their one core item, be it the Boots of Travel or the Blink Dagger on the puck, then they change the farm priority. They let the Lone Druid just farm while the Tinker joins the fights. It's very interesting how
they're very good at adapting at different stages in the game to just adapt to whatever the team needs. Whether your carry got aggro tri-lane, they know to give them farm later, and they know to create the space. They know they need to start fighting, and especially Koifa. Koifa has been there for almost all the fights, yet he is still immensely farmed. 505, Tinker's been doing a fantastic job.
And you look at teams like the Alliance, where it's just always, let's say, Loda and Bulldog getting the bulk of the farm. Like, sure, S4 gets his basic items. It's much more predictable.
There's the Radiance.
This is a very prickly beast. It's hard to kind of pin Mouse down as to how they're going to play the game. And that can be...
And they're like baiting out Fada all the time, too, because his death is not that... I wouldn't say insignificant, but it's not that big a deal. He usually drop call down. If he doesn't, they'll have to waste Rubik lift and probably one other stun, and that just leaves the other people to go to town, most notably the Tinker.
Oh, and for Empire, they can't really defend this tower. The issue is that Cinderin's here with Song, so if you TP in, he just songs and he preps for a brilliant fight.
And Koikva trying to defend against his push in middle. Glyph is popped, but they are looking for him. That is a great positioning. That's great positioning from here. A lot of Tinkers would position themselves over here, but Alchemist was looking for him. The Familiars were looking for him in that position. Great awareness by Koikva.
And that one team is a Tinker, one team doesn't. Therefore, Empire can't take towers, Mouse can. And now the Bear really sieging away. Trading towers normally not advisable against Lone Druid. It's on the label. We'll see Mouse Sports continue to chip away. Not even chip away, but just maul away. That angry Bear. This stone tower won't stand for long. And in comes Light of Heaven. Got his drums up, has his treads up, has been just not really involved this game. He got those...
Rubik's in big danger.
He'll be okay. He's collected 2 kills, but I feel like Light of Heaven's just been farming the whole game. And
yeah, the kills that he got were just Tinker, or not Tinker, Fada just running up to him, just presenting him a kill on a golden platter.
Yeah, and Fada's he's got 5 deaths this game. But he's earned those deaths. He's made them.
Wow. Koikva has 4,200 gold. What in the world?
I personally love my Dagon E-Blade, so I'm just hoping against hope that he'll consider it.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately they have a lot of BKB heroes.
Yeah, completed
and no fields.
Completed Shivas. Of course, you could always just E-Blade yourself to stay out of trouble. Next level.
Next level indeed.
Russian E-Blade just to be a Ghost Scepter.
Visage is so poor right now. Brown boots, medallion, and a cloak. And in the meantime, the supports on supports on Mouse are pretty farm. Naga Siren has arcane boots, a bracer, a blade of alacrity, as well as 1,200 gold. And Bane Elemental looks like he's in the 5 position, doing most of the supporting. Still has arcane boots and some decent items. There's a BKB on Gyrocopter, and I feel like that's really all he needs for pretty much all the game, as long as Tinker and Lone Druid can find sufficient
There's a
amounts of
fresh
farm.
shiny sight device up on Koikfa. He'll start with March. He'll blink away. They're prepping for the siege, and the siege comes now. Fata just sitting there with the BKB in the front lines. All his job is really to drop the call down, throw out a few rocket barrages, and then if he dies, no big deal. Tinker and Lone Druid, they should be able to clean up. Mouse Sports take the tier 2 mid. The map control for them increases. Now Vlad's up on black. Nice pickup just to force these pushes at the tower, and also Empire 3 physical DPS type carries. They don't have a variety of damage. It's pretty much all physical, at least from their carries. Like, sure, you've got your Soul Assumption, but the big deal is just going to be the burst damage from the Dragon Knight.
Oh, there's the Infested
Yeah.
Alchemist Bomb.
And he's going to charge right into Mouse. Can he find a good stun? He'll throw it on black now. The illusions blow up. Light of Heaven pops out. Then the team runs away. Cinderin's going to song. In comes your missile. Call down as well. They didn't stop the song in time, so the missile does nothing. The call down does nothing. Not the best synchronization, but it doesn't even matter. FNG to fall. Light to fall. Scandal on the run. He should be next. Black charging in with his bear. This big old gyro packs a punch, a blink forward. Now a rocket, a laser, and if you're Empire...
That was just such good executions, minus the call down not hitting. As soon as everyone was running away from the march, they Fiends gripped the Nakes, and everyone else was running away, dying to the march, dying to the rocket spam, dying to the sheep. And what can you really do versus that? BKB won't really help you. You'll just get netted and focused down. And you can have a mech, but Marching Machines does just so much gosh darn damage.
Yeah, and they just don't have any farm on a lot of these heroes. Like, Dragon Knight just walk you out with treads and a Claymore. You're not going to do anything against Mouse with that. Now Mafata going in, easily killing off some supports.
This is GG.
GG
yeah.
indeed.
Wow,
Empire
it was kind of close at the start, but Mouse, well-oiled machine, like you said, being very efficient on the map, doing the really little small things that just gave them such a big advantage into the mid game. It was just a lot of small things that added up. Good rotations by the supports, good positioning by Koikfa, being at the fights at the right time, good warding, good counter ganking, good stacking. Just overall, Mouse really getting their farm on.
Well, I don't think we'll see Empire play passively in game 2.
Yeah, they just need to go.
It's pretty clear. They do have 2 stand-ins, and if you're playing a more passive game, then, I mean, that's where...
I mean, we saw them go just full-out aggro, though, last series. I wasn't expecting it, but they sure showed me up.
Yeah, if you don't have that teamwork, then those little things, like your support's not exactly knowing what to do.
It's high risk, high reward, and it's very high potential for you to mess up when you have stand-ins.
Yeah, whereas I think they're comfortable just playing aggressively. They seem like they're in their element, just picking, dominating heroes in the laning stage, and they could have aggressive tri-lane. Rubik, Visage, Alchemist, pretty strong tri-lane.
They're just not as good as farming as Mouse is, though.
Yeah, they can't sit back and farm. Well, it's a best of 3, guys. It's the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. And right now, Mouse Sports is 1 win away from taking first place in Group D. I was going to say A, then I was going to say C, and A plus C is D.
19-7 in the 23-minute game. That was a very swift victory by Mouse. I like how they're expanding their playstyle, not relying on a super-duper, absolutely farmed black to win the game. I mean, he was pretty super-duper farmed, but it wasn't like a 5-6 slotted anti-mage this time.
That German efficiency. That's the story of this game. Mouse Sports is going to take game 1, 1-0. It is a best of 3, guys, so stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with game 2. Empire 1 loss away from being knocked down to the losers bracket of Group D. Winner of this series will be first place in Group D and one of the top 4 teams in the playoffs. We'll be right back.